Are you thinking about purchasing a car? Don't do that just yet. At least not until you watch this video.
Roger, sir.
All right, guys. So welcome back to Financial Readiness Friday Mission Money on the Roger Sarn podcast. And I'm your host, Sarn Cruz. And as you guys already know, this segment is geared to equipping our junior soldiers with the knowledge they need to accomplish their financial goals. So today, what I'm going to be talking about is I'm going to be giving you guys tips on how to buy a car or things that you should do before you go step on that lot. Okay? But before we do that, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Zaquavius Brown. And this was on a reply on one of my videos that I have it's called the 70-10-10 rule. And I'll link it up here somewhere and you guys can go watch it. So it says, no problem, sir. And A, keep up the good work. You're going to make a good sergeant YouTuber. And I'm not going to lie, that kind of blew my head up a little bit. Now, but this is exactly why I do it, right? I do this stuff because I'm trying to reach as many people as I can, arm you guys with anything that you need that I can give you from my foxhole. And if it helps you, good. If it doesn't and you already knew it, okay, cool. I just reminded you. Okay, so first things first. Well, second things second because I gave the shout out. Second things second, I need you guys to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, turn the notification bell, all that cool stuff. All right, without further ado, here are the things that you need to do in order to go buy a car and to be more effective. And this is my opinion. The first thing you want to do before you even step on the lot, before you even look at a car, let's put it this way. First thing you're going to do, you're going to go ahead and get pre-approved. You know that you want to purchase a car. You're in the market for a car. So that's a thing. So you're going to go to a credit union, preferably a credit union over a bank. Credit unions give you better rates, and that's just it. So go get pre-approved. And when you get pre-approved, that's going to give you what's second on the list, which is knowing how much car you can afford. There's no sense on falling in love with that Lexus 350 ES 350 or falling in love with that Scat Pack or falling in love with that freaking Tesla Model S if you can't afford it. So second thing is going to tie into the first, which is the pre-approval. Then you're going to know how much car you can afford. Then the third thing you're going to do is before you go there, you're going to pick a car. Before you get on the lot, you're going to get on the internet and you're going to surf really, 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 really hard. And you're going to pick your top 3 cars, maybe top 5. I don't care. But I would narrow it down to 3. So it's plan A, plan B, and plan C. If that Lexus 350 ES 350 is out of your budget, you got to drop down to a Honda. Maybe that Honda Accord, Honda Civic. And if that Honda Civic is out of your budget, then you may have to drop down to that Nissan Sentra or something like that, or that Nissan Altima or Maxima. Either way, you want to be sure that you're aware of the 3 cars that you want. And because that comes with having a plan. You're not just going to go in there, just guns blazing all willy-nilly. You want to make sure that you point, you aim, you breathe, and you shoot. All right? That's having a steady plan. All right. So that was number 3. So number 4 is going to be you're going to get an insurance quote for every vehicle that you find online. If you find your top 3, once you find them, you're going to write down the VIN number. You're going to call your insurance company and you're going to ask them for a quote for all 3 of those cars. Because that's going to give that with the monthly payment and the gas, that's going to give you your total monthly cost for owning that vehicle. Because a lot of times what we forget is that we pay insurance and we have to gas up the vehicle. So once you get those 3 things, you know exactly how much the car is going to cost you a month. $200 in car payments, another $100 in insurance, and then another $100 in gas. So now you know it's $400 to own that vehicle. Okay. The 5th thing you want to do is once you have all that information, you're gonna make sure, and this is if you go new. If you go new, you want to make sure that you're gonna negotiate the incentives. Um, the thing about new cars is that's the sticker price is the sticker price. It is what it is. You can get a Tesla Model 3 here in Texas for the same price you're going to get in Arizona. You're gonna see it in New York. You're gonna see it in California. They're gonna be on the same wavelength because the MSRP is the MSRP, where they get you to kind of bite for their company or their car dealership is with the incentives. $5,000 rebate, $2,000 cash back, or whatever it is that they give you. Low monthly financing for the next 48 months or something like that. I don't know, but you want to negotiate the incentives to that vehicle. Now that's if you go new. Once you decide if you want to go new, that's what you do. The next thing you're going to do is number 6 is if you're going to go used, then you want to make sure you negotiate the price. You want to make sure that you look at the price of the vehicle and if it has any add-ons to it. Same thing with the new vehicle, but typically you're adding packages to the new one. But when you get a used car and they start putting we put these rims on it and we put this this tints on it, or we put this spoiler on it just to make it better. Like, no one asks you to do that. No one wants you to do that. Okay, so make sure that you understand what the itemize is for both vehicles. Okay. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna make sure that when you are negotiating all of that, you're done. They'll probably ask you way before this, do you have a trade? And you're going to look at him straight in his retinas, into the soul of his eyes. And you're going to say, no, I'm just playing. And you're going to say, no, I don't have a trade at this time, right? Because the last thing that you're going to mention if you want to trade in your vehicle is the fact that you're trading in a vehicle. Because once you mention that you're going to trade in the vehicle, that just shifted his or her, the salesman's thought process. Now they got to do all this mathematical equations in order to not lose even more, because they're going to give you less for this. If they give you, it's not to your advantage, because they're going to start negotiating not on your car, on the car. They're going to start negotiating on your car. So the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that when you're sitting down with the salesman, that you're focusing on the trade-in of your vehicle once you mention it, and the price of the vehicle that you're talking about. You don't care about monthly payments. You don't care about down payments. You care about how much your trade-in is going to be worth and how much your vehicle is going to cost. And typically, the more they give you for trade-in, the more the vehicle is going to cost. The less they give you for trade-in, the more wiggle room you have for that vehicle price to kind of like fluctuate. So it's just mathematically there. You know what I mean? Last thing I want to say is don't get stuck on one area. If you got let's say for instance, I'm in Texas, right? And I see a Tesla Model 3 and they're giving it to me for 50 grand, arbitrary number, just a random number. And I don't like it. And it has a whole bunch of add-ons that I don't need. Like one time I went to, I think, Dallas, and they tried to sell me a motor warranty. And I told them this doesn't have a motor, so why do I need a motor warranty? So things like that. I can go to next state over and get that same car probably for a little cheaper just because I expanded my search. If I'm saving $4,000 or $3,000 on the vehicle, I'll pay the $500 to get it moved over. Okay, so expand your search. If you're here at Cavazos and you don't have to stay in Killeen, you can go out to freaking Dallas. You can go out to Marble Falls, Houston, wherever it is, Austin. So think about that. All right, so now that we're done with your responsibilities, we're going to move into what it's like talking to the salesman. Because there are many things that the salesman does. And the first thing I want to say that they do is as soon as you mention that trade, they're going to devalue that trade. What do I mean by that? Well, you have the vehicle there and they're going to say, "Oh, let's go look at the car," whatever. You're going to be having a casual conversation and they're going to be pointing things out. They're going to be like, "Oh, well, there's a scratch here. Oh, there's a dent there. Oh, wow, this is the older model. Oh, this doesn't have the rims." And all of that, they're going to continue to have this straight conversation with you, but it's registering in your head. You're like, what? Man, my vehicle's probably not as much. They're not going to give you as much as I wanted. So now you've already settled in your head that they're not going to give you as much as you wanted. Personally, I just sell private. But either way, you decided to trade it in. This is a potential thing that they're going to do. The next thing they're going to do is they're going to go back and forth. They're going to go back and forth with you. They're going to go back and forth to their manager. And they're going to act like they're sitting there crunching numbers and crunching numbers and crunching numbers. They may be crunching a little bit of numbers, but the first 5 minutes, but the next 15 to 20 is just wearing you down. Don't be afraid to leave. Don't be afraid to come back the next day. Don't be afraid, okay? Because they're going to keep you there and they're going to just wear you down until you just say, "You know what? Never mind. Just give me the daggone car." A lot of times when they go back and forth, they're gonna bring out this sheet of paper, and they're gonna give you all the terms and stuff like that. Back in the day, they used to do like this little quad chart. If they still do that, cool. I haven't purchased a car in a while. When I went a couple years ago, it was just the paper, and she just wrote down numbers. But either way, a lot of times, especially like the little grimy car dealerships, they try and get you to kind of like sign somewhere. "Oh, sign here," or whatever it is. And and that was the one in Dallas. She kept telling me, "Sign here," and I'm like, "For what?" Because what it does is it commits you. Like it's a psychological thing. Like you're committing technically to yourself. Because like, "Oh, I signed it," and you don't want to now go back on your word. So because you don't want to go back on your word, you're more likely to continue with the negotiation and ultimately close and purchase the car. Okay. So what the dealership is also going to do is they're going to focus more on the down payment and the payments of the vehicle. They're going to try and get you to put X amount of money, let's say $4,000 down, and they're going to try and get you to focus on what do you want your monthly payment to be? What do you want your monthly payment to be? First thing is I've never put down on a vehicle, and neither should you. The next thing is the payment is very small minded. If you say I want to be down in the low fives, all they're doing, the math tells you, they're taking this 3 years that you would pay, and then they're gonna stretch it to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 8 years. I think nowadays you can pay for a freaking vehicle. And then the payment is going to go down, right? And that's how they get you into the payment you want. But it's not the payment you should be affording, because now you're paying, instead of, let's say, $2,000, $4,000 at the end of the loan term, now you could potentially be paying $5,000, $6,000 in interest. So it's not to your benefit to even think about down payment or payments. Your benefit is to think about how much the trade they're going to give you and how much the total price is. Okay? Another thing that you need to know about these dealerships is that they make the dealership itself, okay? We're moved past what the salesman's talking about. So the dealership itself, you want to know where is it that they make the most money. And they make the most money off of used cars. That's where their bread and butter is, because they're buying the vehicle from you as a trade-in, and then they're flipping it. Once you bring that vehicle on the lot, they already know how much they can make off that vehicle. And they're going to cut you like all the way down at the ankles, below the knees. So this is why you mentioned the trade-in last. So they make their money with the used cars. They make their money with the service center, which is why you get that free first oil change most of the time. Uh, that keeps you coming back. Oh, they gave me a free oil change. Now I feel like I need to go there because I'm a loyal individual. So now I'm kind of like I want to go there more often. Now they're gonna start making money off you. They're gonna make a lot of their money off of insurance and warranties, right? So the insurance that they sell you, a lot of times it's trash. They'll find a loophole to get out of it. The warranty is the same thing. So, and that's why, like, when you're done with the salesman, you're going all the way to the back. And then once you get to the finance manager, they're gonna start trying to sell you stuff and sell you stuff and sell you stuff. And the only thing you really need if you're gonna use them as the financial institution, and you're not gonna go get your own pre-quote, the only thing you need ever is gap insurance. And another thing I want to say is dealerships make the most money with the longest terms, right? The longer the term, the more money they make because they're kind of like partnered with these banks. So let's say the bank gives you 4%. They're going to tack on another 2%, maybe another 3%, because banks by law don't have to give you, I mean, not banks, car dealerships by law don't have to give you the best offer. So understand that the longer your term, the more they friendlier they are with you, which is why they always say, what payment bracket do you want to be in? What are the payments that you would like to be in? Because the payment dictates a lot of times the term. The lower you want that payment, the less money you're going to give them, the longer the payment you're going to have to do. So the next thing is they make the least amount of money with the new cars, which is why you drive and you see cars on the lots in the front. They'll have these big signs and rebates and no payment down for no payment for the next year. I remember when COVID was kicked off and we were all able to come back out. There was no payments for the next year, for the next 18 months. I think people are still not paying for their monthly payments right now because of the COVID. But yeah, those are my tips for you on how to buy a car, on how to approach buying a car and things to look out for when going to the dealership. Know where your money's going, know the tactics that they use, and know how to properly plan for getting in the vehicle of your dreams. All right, guys. So if you found this information useful, if you enjoyed it, go ahead and drop a like, a comment, and subscribe. Share the video. Also, it'd be cool if you shared the video. And make sure that you follow me on all my platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. All those are Roger Sarnt. And the last thing is, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you have any ideas for the show, you can email me at rogersarnt@gmail.com. And last thing, as always, you don't have to embrace the suck if you got the right tools in your ruck. I'm Sarnt Cruz, and I'm out. Peace.
Roger Sarn.